Good morning, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, and we are here to do more chats and get some exercises to help you with commercial voice technique. So for those of you all who may be new, I'm Dr. Dion Napier of Amplify Vocal Studio, and I'm coming on live 2 days a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11:30 a.m. That's my morning class. And then I'm doing an afternoon class at 4 p.m., all Eastern Standard Time. And it's no more than 15 minutes. And I want to take your questions live and answer them and give you a little exercise and a little bit of information to help you, especially you all who are classically trained singers, you were trained in a university background, or if you're a working professional singer and you just want some exercises maybe to kind of refine your technique and to help you do what you do easier. Okay, so that is who I'm talking to today, and that's what I'm here for. So I'm going to go ahead and hop right in. So today we're talking about head voice resonance versus throat resonance. Okay, so if you come from a classical background, you know that classical singing, operatic singing is head voice dominant. So before I get into that, let's review the three resonance chambers, all right, that's in our head. So the places in our head where sounds are amplified. The first resonance chamber is the mouth. This is responsible for your chest voice notes, okay? The second resonance chamber is the pharynx, okay? The back of the mouth or the throat. That's that whiny, crybaby, brassy, abrasive sound. And then the third resonator is the bridge of the nose, and that's responsible for your high notes. So in classical singing, it's a lot of head voice resonance, bridge of the nose resonance. So the difference between that and contemporary singing is that with contemporary singing, there is much more resonance shifting and it's not head voice dominant. Okay, and I want to talk a little bit about that. So in classical singing, the goal is more so to admire the beauty of the voice. Okay, I'm not saying you don't tell a story when you sing classical music and opera, but I'm saying the performance practice, as it was in the beginning of classical singing, it was more about just admiring these gorgeous voices. So the head voice dominance makes sense, right? It's more about the beauty of the voice. Well, in contemporary music, it's more about telling a story. So if you go in there with a head voice dominant, it's your audience is going to miss it, right? You can't hear all the words and all of that. You have to have a mode of singing that is much more conversational, not presentational. And so the pharyngeal resonance or the throat resonance helps us to achieve that. So let me do an example and then I'm gonna give you an exercise. So an example, welcome to you all who are with me live. Welcome, welcome. So I'm gonna do an example from Summertime. Now I know Summertime can kind of be crossover, but this is just the first song that came to my mind. So in a classical style, you know, Summertime would be summertime and the living is easy. A lot of vibrato, right? And we need that when we're doing classical music because we need to cut through the orchestra. Well, in contemporary music, you want to more so lean into that whiny. So if you were to do Summertime in a more contemporary style, summertime and the living is easy, right? You hear how I shifted from like a mix down into chest. You can do that in contemporary music. And so on the top, instead of having this raised palate and the nasopharynx resonance, so classical, so commercial. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today because that is like one of the key things that's going to get you locked into a more commercial sound and not sounding operatic when you're wanting to sing some of this musical theater and contemporary style music. Okay, so remember, we're working with presentational versus conversational. All right, so I'm looking at my notes. Let me see what exercise I want to give y'all. I think I'm going to do this one. We'll start off with this one. So this one is going to help you to switch back and forth between classical and commercial. And it's just going to be hey, oh, ah. So I'm going to sing it in a classical style the first time, and then I'm going to sing it in a contemporary style the second time. And you can sing along with me and try it. So here we go. Hey, oh, that's classical. Now let's do a contemporary. When you do a contemporary, again, again, it's more whiny, and you got to cut the vibrato, okay? Not so much vibrato. Hey, classical. Hey, contemporary. Hey, now, if you listen, there is still some head voice quality in there. That's a part of a mix, okay? It's just not head voice dominant. That's the thing that I want you guys to take away. It is not head voice dominant, but head voice is still present. So it's more ratios in contemporary singing, right? It's the ratio. How much chest voice ratio versus how much mix ratio versus how much head voice ratio. Okay, so that's how that goes. So let's keep going. I think we're right here. Contemporary. Take it up. Contemporary. And do you see how I'm kind of crying into it, right? It's the same concept as our classical apoggio. I am leaning on my breath, but in contemporary music, we call it cry. So you just want to imagine that you're crying. Hey, instead of that's classical. Got it? All right, let's keep going. I think I might have just done this one. I forget where I'm at. Let's just start here. So, classical. Contemporary. Got it? And then you can go up and down. And if you're a lower voice, you can just start down here, just an octave down. So, hey, oh, for the guys, and then hey, oh, cut the vibrato out, and then take it up. Okay, so that's one little exercise that you can practice, switching back and forth, feeling that resonance transfer. Let me know if that was helpful and if you have any questions. I see some people here with me live. Good morning. Feel free to drop your questions in the chat, and I am happy to respond. Questions or comments. Let me know if that was helpful and clear. Any questions, any comments? All right, so one more exercise that you can do to work on this resonance shifting idea. So it's going to be on a nay, 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 okay? And the first one is going to be more contemporary, so you really want to lean into the whininess. Nay, 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 nay. And then on the second one, drop the jaw, which is more lower larynx position, which is actually more like classical, okay? But again, I mentioned this on a video maybe last week. The idea of chiaroscuro also exists in contemporary music. You want a voice that is balanced with bright resonance qualities and also darker or fuller, rounder resonance qualities to get a voice that sounds balanced, okay? So this exercise will help you achieve that. So let's keep going. Na, 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 na. I can't remember if I did na or nay. Y'all, I'm sorry. I think I did nay. Nay, 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 nay. And then nay, 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 nay. And nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Feel the resonance shift. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Back down and nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Drop that jaw. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. And that is another exercise you can take to practice. Okay, Okay, so that is it. That's all I have today. You guys let me know if you have any questions. You can leave them in the comments. If you catch the replay, feel free to ask or leave whatever comment you want to leave. I will be back this afternoon at 4 p.m. for my afternoon class, and it will be the same topic, resonance shifting. So if you would like to join me again at that time, I'll be happy to see you. Also, in the description, I do have links that you can check out. So let me show you. I actually have my manual here. So this is a manual that I created, and I typically use it for my 4-day challenges on Facebook. I just finished one. I'll do another one maybe in the summertime. But it's a simple little manual. It's $17. And for those of you who are classically trained, even if you're not classically trained, it's a manual that's going to help you start to get foundations in commercial techniques so you can easily cross over and sing the musical theater stuff that you want to sing. It talks a lot about mixed voice. I'll show you just a little bit so you can see what's on the inside of it. Technical terms that overlap. So it shows you, like, if you're classically trained, you can pretty easily cross over because many of these terms are similar. Okay, there are some things that are different, but there are a lot of similarities. So you don't have to be intimidated by singing commercial music. So it's got a terms list in there. And this is also good for you voice teachers when you are training singers that are not classical, that want to do commercial music. You need to have language that's going to connect with them, because if you go in using Western classical language and they're not trying to be a classical singer, there's going to be a disconnect. So you need to have the languaging to be able to connect with them. You need to have the terminology, even yourself, as you're learning this stuff. It'll really help you. So that's one product that's in the description. Also, I offer a mentorship community. You can see the link for that. And then one-on-one coachings, I do have a few spots open for that. So if you're interested in any of those products or services, just click the links in the description. If you have questions, you can always, like I said, comment, or you can DM me on Instagram, Amplify Vocal Studio on Instagram and Facebook, and then also Dion Napier on the socials. So you guys have a great morning. I'll be back at 4. Bye-bye. Let me hold on. I see somebody else. Hello there to the person that just joined. I'm wrapping up, but do you have a question about commercial voice technique? We just talked about resonance shifting. I like to give people a chance to ask their questions. And I know some people come on just to see what's going on. They don't want to say anything, and that's fine too. I get it. But I am wrapping up. So join me again at 4 p.m. this evening. This afternoon, it'll be the same topic. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.